Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So my name is Michelle, I'm an intuitive astrologer, but in this video we will just talk about the astrology because we're going to have Mars retrograde, which will station retrograde on the 6th of December in the sign of Leo at 6 degrees until the 23rd of February, where it will station direct in the sign of Cancer. So we're going to cover both Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo, and we also will cover what it means to have Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And to make it even more exciting, we're going to discuss some of the main aspects, and I will cover each and every single sign. And the best to check for you, the most accurate would be your rising sign, okay? You can check your sun sign as well. It's accurate, but most accurate would be your rising sign, okay? And you can check your own chart because this is a general reading, right? So I'm going to look from the whole equal house system to make it most accurate for everyone. But you can puzzle and check your own chart to see where is Mars going to be. So where is 6 degrees in Leo, which house is that going to be for you? And then you check where it's going to be in the sign of Cancer. So you can do a bit of your own puzzling, but I'm going to put all the puzzle pieces or help you put the puzzle pieces together. And this is what makes astrology very fun and very exciting. So let's start and have a look on what to expect, because we also have some pretty prominent aspects that could trigger some things here and there, okay? I'm going to bring both the positive sides and maybe a few of the downsides of Mars retrograde, because with all difficulties in life, there's always a positive side to it, right? Like we cannot always have this flat life because we don't learn anything. So sometimes we have to go through something difficult in order for us to learn more and to grow as a soul, okay? So if we look at the sign of Leo, so we're gonna have up till the 7th of January 2025, okay, 2025, we're so close to the new year already. We're going to have Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo. And when we look at the sign of Leo, this is all about self-expression. It's about confidence because it's ruled by the sun, and the sun wants to shine, okay? And then we have the planet of Mars, which is about passion, which is in some ways about aggression, taking action, taking initiative. This is a very masculine planet. And in general, Mars is pretty good in the sign of Leo, right? It really helps you create things, work on your passion, do sports. You're just gonna feel like you want to create something. But now when we have Mars retrograde, I always say that a retrograde is internalizing something. So now Mars goes inward. And when the planet of action and moving forward is going inward, it's gonna create some frustrations because Mars wants to take action. And Mars retrograde is saying you can take action, but you have to kind of let go of some frustrations that are blocking you from moving forward. So sometimes we have to go back, we have to revise and review what we have done so far in our lives, okay? So what can happen, for example, with Mars retrograde in Leo is that you're gonna be frustrated with hobbies. Like you wanna do it now, you wanna move forward, you wanna get stuff done, but somehow it's not fully working out yet, okay? Because when Mars is going to station direct, it's going to give you more freedom and more energy, because Mars also gives you a lot of energy, right? It gives you the fire and the passion to work out, to do stuff. So you're going to feel a little bit more maybe lazy. For some people, lazy. For some people, you're gonna feel this restless energy, like you want to move, but you don't know where to move or what to do and what to express and how to express. So all these questions might come up, all the frustrations from the past. So whatever is coming up of the past, okay, know that this is because of the retrograde, which is gonna go back to the past. Maybe some fights that weren't resolved, or some because Leo can really take into their energy when people say they don't value you. And I'm not talking about sun sign Leos, right? I'm talking about the energy of Leo, because everybody has this energy somewhere in their chart. So if at some point someone put you down and this created frustrations, this might be coming back as well, up until the 7th of January. Okay, there might be some frustrations there. To add more to the mix, more frustrations to the mix, we have Mars retrograde in an opposition with Pluto. And Pluto just moved from Capricorn to Aquarius in November. So this is pretty big. And it's not going to go back into Capricorn. It's going to stay in the sign of Aquarius. And it has been in an opposition already in November. But because we have retrograde, it's going to go back and in an opposition with Pluto. And Pluto is about power. It's about cycles. So Pluto wants to experience extremes, okay? And wherever Pluto is at in your chart, plus it is in Aquarius, it wants to experience freedom in that area. You might go a bit overboard with something, a little bit in a certain extreme to find the conclusion or the midway that suits you best, okay? So to be exact, Mars opposite Pluto will happen until the 18th of January. I want you to be careful, okay? One way with, for example, I don't want to do any fear mongering, but be in your body, because Mars retrograde can create some frustrations and you might be in your head or in your mind and you're not really paying attention to driving. You're not paying attention when you're cutting the vegetables or when you're stepping on something and you might fall or something like this. So make sure to be present. And if you're angry, which is totally valid. So anger is valid. And if you find healthy ways to cope with your anger, okay, do some sports or go to a mountain and scream, like let it out, let this anger go. And definitely all the emotions coming up of not feeling good enough, tackle them, like face them and sit in them and be angry about it for a while, because it's totally okay. This is how you can let it go. When you sit in the emotions, you meditate on them, and then you see who you can forgive. Maybe the person you need to forgive is yourself, okay? So yeah, Mars opposite Pluto, a bit of an explosive energy, okay? People could be a little bit on edge, a bit grumpy, or trying to fight. And with oppositions, there's always an extreme. So either you're going completely in Pluto or you're going too much into your Mars retrograde, which right now is both of a kind of clashy energy. So you have to make them work together, put the power together in order to resolve the situation. So let certain cycles go. Pluto loves you to break certain cycles, okay? Because it rules Scorpio and the 8th house. Then we have, after the 7th of January, it's going to be in the sign of Cancer. So when we have a planet like Mars in a water sign, it doesn't know where to go, because you know, Mars is fire. It cannot swim in water. So it's going to be a little bit confused when it's in the sign of Cancer. And when we look at the sign of Cancer, this is ruling the 4th house. So this is related to your family, your housing situation. And this might bring up frustrations. So frustrations with the family, old anger towards family, specifically the mother, okay, because Cancer is related to the mother or the mother line, your safety, your femininity, okay, How are you dealing with your femininity in this lifetime? Are you too much in your masculine? Are you too much? So do you feel appreciated? Do you feel like you are able to rest? Or do you feel like you always have to be on the move? And this is kind of creating a frustration. Like, I can never just sit still and be me and relax. Okay? So whatever is coming up regarding these feelings, again, embrace them, because they are telling a story to you. Then we're gonna cover an aspect that we have, which is Mars sextile Uranus. And Uranus is still retrograde, okay? It's gonna station direct on the 30th of January. And we're gonna have between the 14th of January and the 30th of January, we're gonna have this sextile with Mars. Mars in Cancer and Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is still in Taurus. It will go in Gemini for a little bit, but you can watch my yearly video to check more about that. And this is about, because Uranus wants excitement, let's to have excitement, and it wants to look at the future. So it's a planet that also wants to move forward, because it rules Aquarius, which is looking into the future. It's like, I don't want to get stuck in the past. And Cancer is the sign of the past. This is the sign of the past and past lives, and it wants to go back. So there is this conflict there. Like, I want to move forward, but I don't know how. So it might create, you have to rethink everything. Is the direction that you're on the right path for you? Aren't you going a bit too quick? Maybe you need to go back and recheck your work, or recheck the things that you've done, and see how you can improve your daily routine, for example. Okay. And yeah, so there will be some detachment also to the outside world. And in that detachment, you're giving yourself space to heal. Write down all your ideas, because they are valid, and you might want to use these ideas later when Mars is going to station direct. But for now, write them down, write all the ideas down, go back to the things you've done, go back to certain situations, and see what you can resolve. So you feel lighter, because if we carry all this anger, the more anger you carry, the heavier you're gonna feel, the more you're gonna have physical ailments, because it's gonna really grab your body, and it will tell you a story. And this story needs to be resolved for you. So you find a way how you can resolve the story, no matter what the other person has done, which can be really bad. But you have to create something that makes this story, or that gives it a place, okay, where you can leave the anger from your body, so you have more space to actually be yourself. So yeah, sit in this restless energy, let the ideas flow, because it wants to flow, but it's just not the right time to fully go after them. It's about going back and making it, the finishing touch needs to be done, okay? Then we have Mars trine Neptune, which will happen from the 24th of December until the 28th of January. Okay, and Neptune is a very utopian planet. It wants to be spiritual, and this actually alignment will help you in a meditation to work with your Mars retrograde. Okay, so take advantage of this placement. It will also create a frustration towards healing. I want to heal myself. I want to heal the world. I want to have this, you know, I would like to see the world in this, that, and that view. So the downside would be, because Neptune is a very spiritual planet, and it will be in a conjunction with the North Node. I'm gonna make a video about that, so stay tuned for that one, because it's a pretty huge aspect, and this is going to awaken a lot within everyone on the planet. And there's a few ways on how to cope with Neptune. So you could start like coping with it in unhealthy ways, like addictions, or you can start to be creative, or go into your spiritual journey to resolve everything, because healing the planets starts with healing yourself, right? That's why me and maybe other people started their YouTube channel, because if we heal ourselves, we can slowly start to heal the planet, right? And if we all look at other people around us, then it's not gonna work. We have to start with ourselves, right? And I'm not only reminding this to other people, even to myself, I have to tell that, you know, even though there's a lot of things that are unfair, we have to kind of start with ourselves, healing ourselves, and then we can slowly start healing the planet. But you have to start living by example and owning up to things you've done wrong, or that, you know, how you can improve certain situations. So yeah. So creative ideas as well, write them down, do a finishing touch to the projects that you already are working on, because this is the time to do that. And also, yeah, Neptune is still in Pisces, which is a beautiful sign. Neptune loves to be in Pisces. It's in its own sign. So take advantage of this creative and spiritual alignment. Mars is also trine the North Node. So don't see it as a block that is happening. It's removing your blocks. But how can we remove the blocks if we're not aware of them? So sometimes we have to feel them and release them. Okay. Then when Mars is direct, we're going to have the similar aspects, right? Because Mars is going to station direct and it's going to have the same aspects again. But then with Mars direct, which you can act on all the things that you have planned. So just be a little patient. Mars is also squaring Chiron from the 19th of January 2025 until the 13th of April 2025. So this is a long period. Again, massive healing of the masculine, standing up for yourself. Where didn't you stand up for yourself and you're frustrated that you didn't? Okay, you're frustrated that you didn't do that. So look into those situations and see what you can do to not repeat those same patterns, because Mars is about taking action and Chiron in Aries is about your personality. Like, where didn't you fully embrace yourself or your personality in the situation that you were at? This could be with friends, this could be family, doesn't matter. Where could you have better boundaries? And where did you kind of make yourself small to make it more comfortable for others? Okay. We also have on the 23rd of January, Mars trine Saturn until the 26th of April. And if we look at Saturn is in Pisces, right? And this is about, because Saturn in Pisces is also very much about releasing your subconscious patterns. So there's a lot of healing that's going to take place, which is going to result in people feeling a little lost. But it's going to end up being more fine-lined towards the goals that you want to achieve, and Saturn wants you to work towards those. But Saturn in this water sign wants you to first heal, remove the blocks, and then go towards the goals that you have. And it wants you to make a plan. So you can make a plan and slowly but surely act on that. Okay. So I think we should start with all the signs, because I can talk for hours about this subject. I think it's super interesting. So this is for Aries rising and Aries sun. For you, we will start off having Mars retrograde in your 5th house. This has to do with your hobbies. So you could have some frustrations on your creativity, like it's not working out. Why I have a writer's block, or why can't I express myself the way I want to? or you're going to be a little bit more on edge when it comes to self-expression. This is also related to kids. So if you have children, there might be some frustrations coming up there. Not only if you have children, but also your inner child. Anger from the past might be coming back, because also Mars is going over Cancer in the 4th house. So whatever is coming up from your childhood, know that it's totally valid. Feel it, be angry about it, and let it go. So a lot have to do with your self-expression. Were you allowed to be yourself when you were little, or were you kind of made small? Weren't you able to express yourself fully? And how can you make sure that that won't happen again, and that you now allow yourself to fully express yourself? So you will have another chance. So look over it and see what you can change, how you can change this pattern. Okay. And yeah, so Pluto is in the 11th house now with friendships. So you will have you're gonna filter a lot more with your friends. Be aware of people that you attract in your life right now, because friends that are coming back, maybe there's something there that you need to resolve as well. And maybe you have to stand up for yourself, and you don't even need to talk with them. Sometimes you can do it behind the scenes and forgive them. Do a little ritual with a beautiful candle, light a candle for them, send them love and say thank you for your lessons. I've learned them now. I'm ready to let it go. So yeah, family, also housing situation after the 7th of January. It might be related to your housing situation. So this could be related to your rent, or if you're buying a house, like if you can put that on hold, if you haven't bought a house yet, I would wait until after Mars retrograde. That would be a better time. But if you already bought it, make sure that all the details are correct and the communication kind of flows. Same with the people that you live with. If you have roommates or flatmates, there might be some tensions there. So yeah, detach yourself a little bit and see what irritates you most. And that's something that you can express at the right time or heal within yourself. So that would be Mars retrograde for Aries. Let's move on now to Taurus. So Taurus Taurus rising, I would say first, and sun. And for you, we have Leo in your 4th house. So we will start off with Mars retrograde in the 4th house. This is covering your family. So your family situation, old pains regarding maybe not feeling seen in the family, not being heard. Maybe you feel that you didn't have a good place to shine, or any frustrations there might be coming up. The same thing with housing. Okay, housing situation. If you can wait till you buy a house, I would wait until after Mars retrograde. It's not really a super good time to buy a house now. There might be some conflicts with people that are involved with that, as Mars is bringing up a lot of frustrations, and it's in an opposition with Pluto for quite some time. So people are more explosive than usual. This also could have to do with your working situation. So make sure that you don't bring the frustrations from work at home. After the 7th of January, after the 7th of January, Mars retrograde will be in the sign of Cancer. So this is about your communication, okay, speaking. You might feel like more restless when you speak, and you're not really sure. So you're going to be a bit more scattered than usual when you're speaking. So be aware what you say to the outside world. Double check your emails at work. Okay. Double check what you're telling your siblings. There could be some tension between you and your siblings. Yeah. Whatever frustrations come up, this is a moment for you to heal that and to look back into that. Also, don't get angry while driving. Be very careful with driving in between the 7th of January and the 23rd of February. Just ground yourself before you go in the car, before you go on the motorcycle. And I would wait personally until you buy a vehicle, okay? Because you might buy something that isn't fully the way it should be. And also there could be some frustrations with the person that you're actually buying that from. So also with studying, if you're studying, maybe you have to do a re-examination or a resit, or you're taking a bit longer when you study. Give yourself time and be very sweet to yourself when you are studying, so that you go over everything that you're doing and you're taking a bit more time, okay? Take it easy, take your time, because Mars makes things a bit slower. So you might not be as fast as usual when you're studying something, where you're reading your book and stuff like that, okay? So that would be for my lovely Taurus. Let's look at Mars retrograde for Gemini. So Gemini rising and Gemini sun. We have Mars in retrograde in the sign of Leo in your 3rd house. So this is all about your communication. If you're in a job where you have to communicate a lot, be very careful that think before you speak and not speak before you think, because that might cause a bit of conflict in your the way you communicate. Also, sibling issues might be coming up, some anger, maybe from the past, or something that have happened that you didn't fully cover, or maybe you haven't fully forgiven your sibling, or there's something you need to talk about. But yeah, communication issues in general up until the 7th of January. Then after, it's going to your 2nd house in Cancer up until the 23rd of February. This has to do with your self-worth. So you might be feeling suddenly a little bit unworthy, like, am I good enough? And you're starting to question yourself a little bit when it comes to work, for example. Do I deserve that money? It's very much related to your income also. So be aware of overspending, because you're not feeling, you're feeling a bit down and you're going to spend a lot of money. So watch out with that. Look over your finances, your income, your money. How can you do a better management? So go over your money, even though you might feel a bit frustrated, but looking at it is always better than avoiding it. Because Mars doesn't want you to avoid it. It wants you to go inward. It wants you to go back to the past, see what you've spent and how you can improve your income, and also your frustrations or blocks regarding your worthiness. Like, how can I feel more worthy about myself? And when you feel more worthy, you will value yourself more and you will have more income. So that's gonna be for Geminis. Let's move on to Cancer. So this is for Cancer rising and sun. And obviously the Mars retrograde will pass your sign after the 7th of January. But first we're going to have Mars retrograde in Leo in the 2nd house. This is all about your self-worth, your money, your materials. So go over your finances and see how you can improve your finances, how you can distribute your money, how you can make maybe more income. It's just going back, okay? So it's not really doing something new to make more money. It's bringing up ideas and improving things you're already doing. So going over your salary, if you're self-employed, you're gonna go over your income. Are my prices correct? Can I maybe change them? It's also about your worthiness as a person. Like, do you feel worthy of valuables, of money, of materials? Do you feel like you're worthy enough to receive them, or do you have trouble receiving? So look into those frustrations and blocks that might be coming up during Mars retrograde. Then it will go over your sign in the first house, and this is about your identity. So frustration, anger at yourself. Where do you feel like you could do better? You might also want to move forward, but you can't. You know, these dreams that you're like running and something is holding you back, so you can't fully express yourself. So where do you feel that you're not good enough? And where do you feel like you could have taken more action in the past? How can you improve that? And make a plan for the future on how to move forward when Mars is stationing direct. Because you're gonna have a chance in your sign, and you will have also more energy. So your energy would be a little bit lower than usual. Okay, but for you, definitely swimming would be very good, or taking baths, or to wash off the frustrations, and you know, a water element in general is very good for you. So that's for Cancer rising and Cancer sun. So let's move on now to Leo. So Leo, you're gonna be highly impacted by this Mars retrograde, especially up until the 7th of January 2025. It will be in your first house. So you're gonna question your identity a little bit. Am I good enough? How do I want to dress myself? Am I fully in my authentic expression? So there might be some questions coming up. Am I fully expressing the creativity that I want to be? So go back to the past, maybe where you felt like people weren't appreciating you, your looks, or making fun of you. These wounds could come up and you can fully heal them. So how can you love yourself more and take action on who you want to be? Okay, so it's a bit of a restless energy. You want to run forward. I said the same with Cancer, because Cancer will have it in the first house too, because first house Mars is usually quite energetic, and you want to do sports and you want to do a lot of stuff, but somehow you can't run as fast, right? Where you're running in your dream and you can't really move forward. That's a little bit of this feeling, because it wants you to go inward and look at the inner frustrations. Are you truly your authentic self, and what can you do about that? Then Mars retrograde will go in the sign of Cancer after the 7th of January. Your energy will be lower, so don't push yourself, force yourself into anything. Okay, also especially in December, things regarding relationships will come up. Okay, past things about relationships. How were you feeling in your relationships? And when Mars is going in the 12th house in Cancer, this is very much related to your subconscious feelings and past lives. So you're gonna feel a bit strange sometimes, and you don't really know where it's coming from. This is also kind of about hidden enemies. So people who are gossipy behind the scenes, or telling stories that they shouldn't really care about. So this will be coming up, but you can do a lot of healing, do meditations, and find out where this anger is residing in your body, because that's where you can heal a lot of stress. So you can heal a lot of stress from your body. So this is my message for you, Leo. Let's now move on to Virgo. So Virgo rising and Virgo sun, you have Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo, starting off in your 12th house. And the 12th house is a bit frustrating, right? It's up until the 7th of January 2025, it will be in your 12th house. So your energy is a bit lower than usual. Don't force it, don't push to do too much. This is time to go inwards. Even though you feel restless and it feels a bit strange, because it's like, I want to do something, but I can't. Be very, very careful with your health. Okay, watch your health, because Pluto is in the 6th house, and Mars is retrograde in the 12th house. So anything that you've stored in your body is gonna come out, okay? It's gonna show itself, and you go to the doctor if you have to. And also you can work on healing yourself, okay? Healing that part of your body. That's gonna give you, so you can ask your body questions, and your body will give you an answer or a feeling or an emotion from the past, or maybe even a past life, right? And take this serious. Ask your body this question and you will get an answer, and then you can work on that healing. But you can only work on healing that when you improve your routines and when you are sweet to yourself, that you take enough rest, because really you need a lot of rest around this time. It's very, very important. Then Mars retrograde is going into your 11th house of friendships. So there could be some frustrations with friends, situations that have even happened in the past might come up years ago, things that you haven't closed properly. Now you have the time to go back. Maybe you will hear from someone from the past that wants to talk. Or a bit of, more frustration with your friends. This usually has to do with something that you're already frustrated with. It's not like something new that is happening. Mars retrograde is simply bringing up what you've been trying to stuff in your body and trying to hide, right? Even though Virgo, I'm laughing because Virgo is not really designed to hide their emotions in the sense of when they don't like someone. It's quite obvious, but anyways, it's good to feel it and to heal it, okay? This is really important. So friendships, community, is the community that you're in, is that suiting for you? Is that the right community? Look at those situations. So that would be for Virgo. Let's move on now to Libra. So Libra, you're gonna start off with Leo, Mars retrograde in Leo in your 11th house. This is all regarding your friendships, your community, the people that you relate with, any anger towards friends or anything that you feel is unresolved might be coming up. Maybe you have friends that don't make you fully express yourself, because with Leo in the 11th house, Libra, for you is so important that you're gonna express yourself and that you feel like you can be truly yourself in your friend group and that they allow you to shine. If you don't feel like that, you will be having these frustrations, and the frustrations that you haven't spoken about or that you've gathered in your body might be coming up, especially up until the 7th of January. After that, it will move into your 10th house of the public. So if you're doing public speaking, prepare well, okay? And leave out frustrations, personal frustrations. So if you're on social media, leave out what is your frustrations. Don't bring it too much to the outside. Resolve it within. Also with work, any frustrations with work, see what you can do with that. Is it time to change jobs maybe? Is it time for you to look at your direction in life? What you're doing, is this truly what suits you, or is something better out there for you? Now is not the time to really take action. It's time to look back and see what suits you and what doesn't. So the 10th house is very much related to your ultimate purpose, right? The thing that you would like to do in your life. But since it's a Mars retrograde, first look at the blocks or the belief systems that are holding you back from taking action on the things that you would like to do. And especially Libra, because next year when Jupiter will go in Cancer, your path is free to choose a different direction, especially Libra ascendant. This is going to be a beautiful time for your career. So now is the time to remove those blocks, remove those belief systems that have held you back from actually achieving what it is that you want to achieve. So that's for Libra. Let's move on now to Scorpio. So Scorpio rising and Scorpio sun, you have Mars retrograde starting off in your 10th house, And this is going to make you question a little bit your career, so your career path. Am I on the right path? Am I having any frustrations regarding authority figures or bosses? Do I feel like I cannot fully shine and be myself in my career? So if there are frustrations coming up and you feel like you're being put in a cage, because you have Leo in the 10th house for most of you, okay? Check your chart, because this is a general reading. But if you have the midheaven or Leo in the 10th house, you're going to want to shine. You want to express yourself. Like, your career is very important, that you're passionate about it. So if you're not feeling very passionate about your career, then look into what it is you can do that suits you better. So the frustrations will come up if they are there. And also regarding maybe a boss or someone that is leading you, okay, in the company. So work is going to show you all the blocks, so you later on can follow a path that's more aligned with your ultimate purpose. Then it will go, after the 7th of January, it will go in the sign of Cancer. This is in your 9th house. This has to do with traveling. So if you travel, okay, be aware with driving, okay? Check out all the schedules very well. If you don't have to travel, I would kind of avoid it, okay? Especially between the 7th of January and the 23rd of February. If you can avoid it, I would avoid it. Maybe you want to revisit a place, but it might not feel the same as when you were there the first time. But it could be that there is something you need to close there, okay? If it's maybe a love overseas or a place, you might have to face that and see why that's not your place anymore. Maybe you're thinking very differently, right? We have an experience at some point about a certain place or a certain person, and we're going back and it's not the same anymore. Maybe it was just beautiful as it was, right? So if you need to go back somewhere, then yes, figure it out, but make sure that you have everything well planned as best as possible. Also, this has to do with studying. So if you're studying, give yourself a lot of love and a lot of time to go over what it is that you've studied. There might be some frustrations there, like you're not soaking it in as quick as possible. And the frustrations are actually postponing the time. So it's better to take it easy, the best possible, and be very sweet to yourself when you have to study something. Okay, so that would be for Scorpio. Let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius sun. You will have Mars retrograde in Leo up until the 7th of January 2025 in your 9th house. First of all, don't go driving angry. Watch out with, electronics. And also, if you are traveling, I would avoid traveling. But if you are traveling, make sure that the schedule is in order, everything is in order, because there might be some frustrations there, especially up until the 7th of January, okay? So no angry driving. If you are studying, this is a time where you might feel a bit frustrated or it's not going as fast as you can because the energy levels are a bit lower with Mars retrograde. But where are the frustrations and belief systems coming from regarding maybe your spirituality or regarding your belief system in how smart you are? Maybe you feel like, you're not smart enough or can't do this. There might be some doubts coming up, but also this is a time to heal that. In December, also watch out with communication with siblings or neighbors, because that might be a bit tricky during that time. And then after the 7th of January, you're going to have Mars retrograde in your 8th house. So the 8th house is all about your cycles, and Cancer is about your home. So family situations, cycles that have repeat itself in your daily life with the people around you that project the same family issues. Also have a look at your papers. Okay, so 8th house is not your money, it's your partner's money, or it's coming from insurances, taxes, government, and make sure that everything is well done, that you don't forget anything, any taxes or anything that you maybe have skipped. Also, there might be some conflict there between, an accountant or a person that works for a governmental institution. Problems relating to the mother line, issues might be coming up that are there for you to heal. Okay. Do I miss something? Yeah, it's also have to do with your sexuality, right? Because 8th house is about your sexuality. So you might be feeling more detached, more to yourself. Okay, tell your partner that, because you need time to reflect on certain things. So it might be lowering a little bit the libido from what you usually would feel. So that's for Sag. Let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn rising and Capricorn sun, you will have Mars retrograde starting off in your 8th house in Leo. And this have to do with joint finances. So, but also money that is coming from your insurance or your taxes or papers from the government, your pension. Make sure that all of those papers are in order, because something might be coming back and there could be some frustrations happening. Also, this is about your self-expression and cycles. So what is repeating in your life, for example? Who is trying to bring you down in your self-expression? Is that maybe you yourself that is restricting your self-expression? Or might there be people around you that are making you feel like you're not good enough? And where is that idea coming from? Okay, watch out for overspending. And, take a look if you have any debts. Have a look at that. Maybe you can make a plan on how to make that work. Because now Pluto's in the 2nd house, so there might be some ups and downs with your finances or some changes. You might suddenly be getting a lot of money, or because Pluto is about extremes. So make sure how to manage it well. Don't overspend or hold on to your money for life, okay? None of that is good. Just like breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. The same goes for money. When Pluto is in the 2nd house, treat it carefully. And I'm saying this because Pluto will be in an opposition with Mars retrograde in December and parts of January. Then we have Mars retrograde going into Cancer after the 7th of January in your 7th house. And this has to do with your relationships. So business partnerships or your romantic relationships. And if you're single, this could be going back to your past relationships. What can you learn from your past relationships? And even if you are with your partner now, you still might get flashbacks or anger towards like ex-partners and things you can heal in that area. So look at those frustrations and see what it is that you can do about that, right? Because sometimes people do things to you, but also maybe you have allowed them to do that to you. So how can you make sure that doesn't happen again? Where is that coming from? Because people will treat you on how far you allow them to treat you that way. Okay, so go back to your past romances and see how you can revise that. And if people come back from the past offering you quality time, okay, think really well about that, because it's Mars retrograde and not everything is what it seems. I would wait until after Mars is direct again, okay? So that's for my lovely Capricorn. Now we're going to Aquarius. So Aquarius rising and Aquarius sun. For you, we will start off with Mars retrograde in your 7th house. And now my phone is ringing. I hope you don't hear that in the video, but literally Aquarius, you need an extra reminder, okay? Because we're talking about relationships here. So I needed to have that phone call, so it's gonna be an extra alert because Pluto now is in your sign in the 1st house, and it's opposing Mars retrograde in the 7th, and it will be there for at least up until beginning of January, and this will really make you reflect on past relationships, okay? There might be some explosive situation in your relationship, so make sure you detach yourself before, or literally, if you're in a relationship that's no longer serving you, you probably cannot hold yourself together any longer, okay? You cannot hold yourself any longer. You're gonna break through. If your relationship is healthy, I always say nothing will happen. You know, it's just, it could be even frustrations from past relationships that might be coming up and you're surprised, like, why is that coming up? Okay, so even if you're single or in a relationship, you're gonna have a look at your romantic relationships, maybe your business relationship, what happened there, and what can you do to heal that? And also, people might come back from the past offering you something, you know, something romantic, or I don't know. Make sure that it's all what it seems. So I would wait until after Mars stations direct before you do anything, because it's unclear. It's not very clear what people come to do, because Mars is very much about unfinished business. We're in this masculine energy coming back for unfinished business, and when Mars goes direct, they might change their mind. Okay, female, male, doesn't matter. We all have masculine and feminine energies. Then after the 7th of January, Mars retrograde is going into the 6th house. So 6th house is related to your routines, your health. So Aquarius, listen to your body. If your body is showing any signs of health problems, go to a doctor. And at the same time, work on your emotions. So what is this pain telling me? What story is stuck in my body that is now creating this disease, this ease, okay? So look into that. What can you do to optimize your routines? Like, are you waking up the right time? Are you taking care of your body? Have you been taking care of your body? Can you eat better? Can you do more sports, right? And Mars retrograde is not really about starting in a sport. It's about taking it more easy, but it's about making the plan to do better when it's stationing direct. So go back, see how you've treated your body in the past, and how can you be better for your body, okay? Also with work, so colleagues might be a sensitive subject. So there could be some disagreements with colleagues or some issues that might be coming up. Yeah, stay home if it becomes too much and you want to keep your job, because some days the frustrations might be coming up, and find healthy ways on how to express that in communication, but don't go too quick expressing those feelings. Also with pets, because don't forget, 6th house is also related to pets. Take care of your pets, see if they need anything, if anything is up. Health-wise, take care of them, because that could also be brought up during this time. It's not just us humans, but also animals. They go as well with the astrology. So have a look at that. Let's move on now to Pisces. So Pisces rising and Pisces sun. We're going to start off with Mars retrograde in your 6th house. So I want to say, whatever is coming up when it comes to your body, your health, okay? Is your routine good for your body? Are you treating your body well? That comes up now. So any health problems, go to a doctor. And at the same time, ask your body, what is going on? What is the frustration? Where is it coming from? Also look at your routines. Are your routines healthy for you? Are you working too much, too little? Do you feel valued in your work? Because Leo is all about feeling valued, and you want to express yourself authentically in your work. Can you do that? A little bit of conflicts with colleagues or frustrations might be coming up. Go home, make an overview, and then talk things through, not too quick, because it's gonna be kind of unbearable anger, and it will want to come out, especially up till the 7th of January. After that, Mars retrograde will go in the 5th house. This is related to your children, your hobbies, but also your inner child. So again, your creativity, like, are you fully in your creativity? Can you pick up a hobby from the past, something you used to like as a child? What are you angry about when it comes to your childhood, right? And it's in the sign of Cancer, so it can also be related to the mother. So if you're a mother yourself, that will be reflected also with your own children. Any frustrations that will be coming up with your own children will give you an opportunity to heal something, okay? So hobbies, see what you can pick up if you left something off. If you can't move forward or you can't create as much as usual, be kind to yourself, because this is not really a time to move forward quickly, because Mars is the planet of action and it's retrograde. So it wants you to go back to the past. It wants you to internalize Mars, like what is holding you back from taking action in your workplace, what is holding you back from creating from the heart, okay? Is there something related to your family line that is making you believe that about yourself? So dive into that. It's a beautiful time to look inward, to take it easy, to find a new diet, and to overall improve your health, okay? So that's my message for you, my amazing Pisces. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below how this resonates with you, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.